Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Mixed Texan Politics. All right, Bud Light suffers a staggering 17% sales plunge amid Dylan Mulvaney controversy. Ooh, this is not good. The latest sales data from Nielsen IQ and Bump Williams Consulting shows that Bud Light sales fell 17% in dollars, while volume dropped a whopping 21% in the week ending April 15th. That sharply ahead of the 6% drop in sales and 11% drop in volume that Bud Light had suffered during the week ending April 8th, just 7 days that immediately followed the April 1st launch of the Dylan Mulvaney campaign on social media. These numbers are staggering, according to an April 23rd report from Insights Express, a beer-focused newsletter. Right now, this is an extremely difficult scenario for Anheuser-Busch, the Bud Light brand, and for AB distributors. Meanwhile, Bud Light's competitors are cashing in on the mess. Bud Light lost 6.7% of market share last week, while Coors Light and Miller Lite are up 18%. Dang. A week earlier, Coors Light market share was up 10.6% over the same period, and Miller Lite was up 11.5%. Coors and Miller were once again big beneficiaries. Here goes Dylan Mulvaney right here, the self-proclaimed woman who is a man. Now, that's not it. Okay, so during the NCAA tournament from March 18th to April 1st, it was clear the clear leader of all light beers at bars and other venues, up 15%. But after the Mulvaney campaign launched, demand for Bud Light trailed other light beers by 6% in bars and restaurants. Overall, Bud Light's volume declined by 34.7% in bars, restaurants, and other venues between April 2nd and April 15th. Bud Light dropped to number 4, the number 4 draft beer from number 3 during the second week of the controversy, switching places with Coors Light and Brewbound reported on Monday. Now, we're seeing sales drop across the board. And this is something that I found interesting as well. This is from Fox Business. Listen to this.
Campaign working?
No, I don't think so. One of the things that surprised me in the first data set that came out is the region of the country where Bud Light lost the most sales. Are you ready for it? California, Oregon, and Washington State. So I'll raise my hand on that one. I did not call that, but the data has so much noise in it. We really.
Now this was from April 17th, but in those couple of weeks during the controversy, after the controversy, California, Washington State, and Oregon saw the biggest sales drop, and that's weird because those are heavily Democrat states. They have major left-wing cities like Portland, Seattle, and you have San Francisco, Los Angeles, and California. Of course, we have Oregon and Washington State have some very conservative regions surrounding those big cities. So I don't know what is behind this the sales drop in sales. I'm sorry, in these blue states. Now, California does have a lot of conservatives, but they also have a lot of leftists out there. And we have some here too in Texas. I'm not going to lie about it. Take a look at Austin, but could it be that this marketing campaign did not sit well with the younger crowd? I mean, maybe they're overestimating how much these young people are identifying as trans. Maybe you may look. I have no problem with gay people. I have no problem with trans people. You do what you want to do in your own life. The problem is when it becomes when they're shoving it down our throats. It very well could be that these young people just don't want to hear it. A lot of these young people don't want to hear it. The very people that they're targeting are just not buying into it. So I'm curious as why in these regions that we're seeing the biggest sales. You would think it would be places like here in Texas, Oklahoma, places like South Dakota, even places like Wisconsin have a lot of blue collar people working there. These are a lot of these places have very conservative areas, very conservative states Wisconsin's a little it's purple, I would say, but that's a little surprising. As you would think that you would see these big sales drop in these red states, but hey, there are conservatives all over the place, and then we don't know what's behind the data. We don't know why we're seeing it in these blue states. So Bud Light seeing these kinds of drops for a few weeks following this controversy is concerning. Is it going to tank them as a company? Probably not. I mean, we don't know what the future holds. We don't know if it's going to. If they might lose, they may lose some spaces inside these bars as far as their tap. As far if they're not selling, they may lose their spot to somebody else. They may be replaced. Now, Bud Light is not as appealing as it once was, in my opinion. I haven't drinking it in years. I haven't drinking Bud Light in I don't know how many years. I go for more of a wheat beer. Craft beers are a lot better. They're about a lot more appealing nowadays than some of these classic beers. You know, these Bud Light, Coors Light. But a lot of people go to a ball game and they just want something easy. Coors Light, Bud Light, and Miller Light. Some people like to stick to tradition. But me, I give me a nice wheat beer, a nice German beer, you know, a Hefeweizen, an Oktoberfest. That's more up my alley. That's just me. But there are a lot of people who still go to bars and just want a Bud Light. My brother likes Miller Light. He just likes simple stuff. But I'm curious to see how this continues on down the line. Are we going to see, we're first, with 17%. Are we going to see 25 and 30% in the coming weeks? And then will this be sustained? That's the question, really. And I'm curious to see how Bud Light is going to respond to this. I read that they are going to meet in D.C. or they have this week as a company. Distributors are going to meet in D.C. So I don't know. We saw Bud Light come out with a campaign to try to redeem itself with the horse and the semi-patriotic ad, but I think that did more harm than good, in my opinion, because it felt like they were just trying to save face and they were, I don't know, it didn't seem like it was genuine, in my opinion. But it's obvious that they know they screwed up. They know they screwed up. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Take care.